Welcome to Jesse Watters Primetime. I'm Kayleigh McEnany. We begin with a Fox News alert. The Supreme Court served up 3 major rulings this week. First, they did away with affirmative action. Next, they delivered a huge win for free speech. And then they dropped a hammer on Biden's executive overreach. The Supreme Court blocked Biden's $400 billion student loan bailout. He tried to force it through using executive power instead of going through Congress. But you can't do that. Biden isn't a king, but don't take that from me.
People think that the President of the United States has the power for debt forgiveness. He does not. He can postpone, he can delay, but he does not have that power. That has to be an act of Congress.
So catch this. The court cited that exact line from Pelosi when they slapped down Biden's bailout. It's one of the very few times Nancy and I agree on anything. But that hasn't stopped the media from losing it.
If you think about all the grievances that have brought about the Trump election, what you're seeing is severe backlash in the sense that people do not want to see Black and brown people excel in this country.
Do you think it's a setback for gender equality?
Well, it's definitely a setback for social mobility through education.
These decisions over the last 24 hours are essentially making it harder for a range of communities to go to college and seek a higher education.
This represents an extremist minority who is determined to bring the country back to a time where we could not attend the same schools, eat at the same restaurants, or drink from the same water fountains as their white peers.
I just can't with these people. No, this is about the plumber not paying the bills of the graduate. Makes a lot of sense, right? It's not just the media irresponsibly fear-mongering over that decision. Justice Kagan, get this, she painted a bizarre hypothetical situation in her dissent. A terrorist organization, these are her words, sets off a dirty bomb in Chicago. Beyond causing deaths, the incident leads millions of residents, including many with student loans, to flee the city to escape the radiation. They must find new housing, probably new jobs. And still, their student loan bills are coming due every month. Okay, a dirty bomb goes off. Are you thinking about repaying your student loan debt? No, I don't think so. And if the president needs to, he can always pause payments like Trump did when COVID first hit America. So what's this all about? Why is the left melting down? Because the student loan bailout was Democrats' pitch to win over young voters. It's about the politics of this. Polls show 60% of 18 to 29-year-old voters went for Joe in 2020. That's been slipping a lot. Now, half of voters that age disapprove of his job performance. Why? They think Biden is ineffective, and they're worried they won't achieve financial independence. They were banking on their student loans being wiped away. But now Joe doesn't have that in his back pocket for 2024. He's nervous.
Mr. President, why did you give millions of borrowers false hope? You've doubted your own authority here in the past.
I didn't give any false hope. The question was whether or not I would do even more than was requested. What I did, I thought was appropriate and was able to be done and would get done. I didn't give borrowers false hope, but the Republicans snatched away the hope that they were given, and it's real hope.
Here's the truth he's not telling you. This wasn't even his idea. Sure, Biden's no stranger to executive overreach. The Supreme Court has slapped him down time after time on environmental regulations, eviction moratoriums, vaccine mandates. But this student loan handout, it was Kamala's idea. The Treasury Secretary and Jill Biden both warned Joe, do not do this. But Kamala convinced Biden to rush it out before they even had the costs locked down. She handed Biden a list refuting all his reasons not to do it. That was in the New York Times. But when Kamala was asked who's paying for it, she refused to answer.
Who specifically is footing the bill for student loan forgiveness? We haven't gotten a concrete answer from the administration yet.
Well, let's start with this. First of all, a lot of the same people who are criticizing what we rightly did in following through on a commitment that we made to forgive student loan debt are the same people who voted for a tax cut for the richest Americans.
Can't make this up. The Supreme Court also delivered a huge win for free speech today. A graphic designer in Colorado said a law there would force her to do things that go against her religious beliefs, like designing a website for a gay couple's wedding. If you change the channel, you're going to hear a lot about how this is part of some anti-gay agenda. But that's not the case. This has nothing to do with sexual orientation. This is about free speech. Justice Gorsuch wrote this: tolerance, not coercion, is our nation's answer. The First Amendment envisions the United States as a rich and complex place where all persons are free to think and speak as they wish, not as the government demands. Also worth noting, Justice Gorsuch authored an opinion that was protective of the LGBT community, but no one will tell you that. Did anybody in the media even read the decision?
A lot of people worrying about things like Jim Crow. Could somebody decide that they want black folks to come in the back door because they don't want them in their store? I mean, how far might this go?
Today's the last day of Pride, and it's a dark day. It was a victory for extremists in America. So it's really important that we fight back now and that we organize around this so that it does stay very, very narrow and it doesn't start to filter into one-day signs saying we don't serve gay folks.
You've now provided open season for discrimination on all kinds of different fronts, not just limited to gay couples, but on the basis of race. What's to stop someone from saying, I don't want to serve couples that are in an interracial relationship?
What stops people is the Constitution. But anyway, and earlier this week, the Supreme Court also tore up affirmative action in universities. They said it discriminates against white and Asian college applicants, and it goes against our Constitution. Justice Clarence Thomas said it best: the Constitution continues to embody a simple truth. Two discriminatory wrongs cannot make a right. The Constitution prevails. How do you think the media reacted?
Clearly, the court, in my judgment, stuck a dagger in the back of many of us. I think that the politics of this is it will cut deeply into black and brown voters.
The Chinese and Korean kids always wanted to know how to make their application materials seem less Chinese or Korean. The rich white kids wanted ways to seem less rich and less white.
It just makes a kid, an Asian kid, a Native American kid, a black kid, feel like you don't matter. Is this leading to no women in colleges soon?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.